Hi guys, it's me, Tiana Jones, also known as Callie Faye, and we're here today with the All Lives Do Exist Sustainable Development Goal number 5, and that is gender equality. So we're here with people from all over the world, and we cannot wait to get into this topic. This goal is very important. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my first special guest, and that is Tanya Maddox. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Tiana, and hello, everyone. Gender equality is very, very important for every industry. If you look at statistics, you will find that women drive a lot for GDP for most nations, especially in the West, where I am from. I'm from the USA. In times of crisis and in the past, in wartime, women had to step up to the plate to handle the heavy lifting and work in the critical automotive industry during that time, where they built different machinery and equipment and vehicles for the armed forces. Outside of that, women drive a lot in the economy as homemakers. Homemakers should never feel less than because they do so much, not only shaping young minds and giving value to the society by the lives that they shape, but also when they have to buy food for their families and do other things, actually managing transportation and other important items and facts of handling a household that women are responsible for are very vital to an economy. In light of that information, I think businesses will be well served at offering equal pay for equal work for women. It is very important to have female energy in conversations. It is known, or it is recognized, that masculine energy can be competitive, which is a natural feeling and a natural expression for males, the competitiveness and sometimes the hard charging. You would need feminine energy infused in situations, which could really help facilitate negotiations. If you have negotiations in business that are in mind, because there's a different perspective many times that women bring, and a lot of the intuitive nature of being that particular gender. Women being paid equally because they are not just capable of doing domestic work. There are a lot of women who have analytical minds as well. STEM education, science, technology, engineering, math, that has really been highlighted lately, and females, especially young women and young girls, have been introduced to STEM education. And it's been found that their minds are quite sharp and capable of handling analytical work. One specific example that comes to mind is from the movie Hidden Figures, where there were a group of women, African-American women, working at NASA. And one, Katherine Johnson, who stood out, she was a mathematical genius. And it was her calculations that were really spot on and were responsible for getting an astronaut back to the Earth from his orbit in space. So having equal pay for equal work for women is very important. It validates them, not only validates them, but they're worthy. They have the same mental capabilities. The only thing that may be lacking, if it's physical work, they may not be physically as strong, but that really needs to be enhanced and highlighted in our world. Women are worthy of their work. Thank you.
That's amazing. Great job. And you guys, here's the key. The key is she is saying clearly that women can do anything that men can. And with that mindset, more people in the economy need to open up opportunities for women all over the world so that our increase of economic value will go up, which creates more economic revenue, which creates more economic discoveries. So thank you so much, Tanya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next special guest today is going to be Dr. Saurav Banerjee. Welcome.
Thank you, Tiana. Thank you very much for giving me this platform. And am I audible? Yeah. So I will not be talking for too long, but the first perspective that we have, or that we had rather, was from a developed nation. A first speaker put it very beautifully that if we are not utilizing the women force in the sector, work sector, we are losing out on the economy. But I would rather take a step back and start from a little more backward position, in the sense that I would like to start from defining what we mean by gender equality. So if we say that gender equality actually is something that guarantees that anyone, man or woman, should be given equal rights, and that is not only in the workplace, but in every sphere of life. So now from this, I will move on to say that we generally use the term sex and gender synonymously. But my position is that, or it is a well-accepted position, which many people do not perhaps know or do not accept, is that they are not synonymous. Sex is actually biological. So we are born a boy or a girl at birth, during our birth, depending on the kind of chromosomes that we have. Like if it's XX chromosomes, you are born a girl. If it's XY chromosome, you are born a boy. So we cannot help that. That is biological construct. Gender, on the other hand, is actually a sociological construct. There is no such thing that will define you as a gender woman. So it's actually a kind of a construct that depends on the culture of the society one is living in, and therefore the construct of this gender varies across different cultures in different societies. But one commonality that is there in all these societies is that no matter what society we are living in, irrespective of our affluence and other kinds of achievements, there is a blatant gender equality in all these societies. Now, I will say, since my first speaker has already talked about the workplace, I will say that it is not only restricted to the workplaces, but it exists even in the public spaces, educational institutions, our homes, and what is more important is that it is very systematically ingrained into the minds of young people from a very early age. Our first speaker has already mentioned that it is a very male trait to be aggressive, to be a kind of a person who goes out and conquers the world. But for women, it is to be taking a step back, laid back, whatever it is, playing the second fiddle, and so on and so forth. So that has been ingrained, or that is still being ingrained in our minds from a very tender age, which look apparently very simple, like say fairy tales or the advertisements that we see across all media, television, print, and everything, even on our phones. So what happens is that, have we ever thought like what kinds of things these fairy tales or these advertisements are what kind of effect these are having on the minds of the young people whose minds are tabula rasa, that's a blank slate where you can imprint anything. So the kind of thing you are being exposed to from an early age gives them the idea that this is what a female gender is supposed to do and this is what a male person is supposed to do. Let me just illustrate with a few examples. In the fairy tales, we find that the girls are always beautiful damsels in distress and are like trophies for the handsome Prince Charming, who are achievers, who comes and rescues them and rescues the country to be given up in marriage to that person. So, and I had talked about advertisements. So we even find that even in the advertisements across all forms of media, the portrayal of women is very distressing and dismal. So we find either the women are playing the roles of second lead, or they are only in the advertisement for being a kind of an eye candy. Very few advertisements are there where the women play the decision maker, except when it is not for products in the kitchen or the bathroom. or the washroom or whatever it is on the home front. You will never find a woman being portrayed as a CEO who has to take a decision on a kind of a merger or the acquisition of another industry or stick industry or something like that. So I will not speak too long. So I'll end by saying that only reservation policies, government policies, and academic seminars won't be enough. This idea of gender equality has to be inculcated from the very grassroots level. And therefore, it is very important for programs like this. I mean, it is very important that programs like this are organized regularly and people get to see them, watch them, understand them, and then only can be spread the awareness, and then only can we promote gender equality. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with me.
Thank you so much. And that is great to hear from you as a man that is also willing to come on this platform and speak on the highlight of why things need to change and why programs like these are important, because women have equality with men. Women's lives do exist and all lives do exist. So thank you so much. Our next special guest is ADV Vaishali Road.
Yes. Namaste. I'm Advocate Vaishali Road from India. Greetings from India. Thank you so much for this beautiful platform, which I can share the gender equality. Are you able to listen to me? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I just want to say one thing, that there is no chance of the welfare of the world unless the condition of women is improved. And it is not possible at all. You know, bird cannot fly on one wing. That means it's a need for the gender equality. And gender equality, why is necessary? It's not only fundamental human rights, but it's for a healthy, prosperous, peaceful, and sustainable world. It's must needed. One more thing I would want to add by Margaret Thatcher. If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. That means both are equal human beings. We just need to learn how they can improve. Equal opportunities. In this pandemic, in these 2 years, I saw many cases. Lots of laws, deaths in their particular community. But I saw lots of women, they just brought their home, their community very peacefully. They handled that condition very nicely. That means it proves that women can make a big changes. We need to understand why there is 2 legs, why there is 2 wheels. So with one wheel or with one leg, you cannot improve. You cannot walk. So if you want to make a changes, if you are a girl, just help other girl. If you are a man, hold a hand of your wife, your mother, your sister, your daughter, your friends. Then only it will make a big change. And if you are a woman, help each other, understand each other, empower each other. This is the real women empowerment. And this is the gender equality. Without men, we cannot do anything. Without women, we cannot do anything, possibility. So if we want to improve, we want a peaceful, we want a healthy society, yes, it's a need of gender equality. I believe in action always, because I give military training to the school childrens. In my academy, I focus on the training, both girls cadet and boy cadet, the same training, so that none of parents can say that my girl is weak or you are just focusing on the boy. No, I believe in action rather than saying. So I focus on that. I believe in that. And because of that only, we type of a people who think in the same way can make a big changes. Now, many women are working in diverse careers and are financially independent. But still, we have a long way to go. We need to totally eliminate gender inequality. The government and we, the people, have responsibility towards women empowerment, the gender equality. And we can achieve this Millennium Development Goal, definitely. I believe in that. I believe in that. So on this note, one day will come, one day will come when gender inequality will only be present in the history books. We can make a great change. Thank you so much, Tiana. Thank you so much, SDG, for giving me this opportunity and giving me this platform. Namaste.
Thank you. And one day we can make a difference. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I believe that together, showing this equality can bring people from all walks of life, all parts of the world, all countries can unite together for global peace, but peace within, because they know they're being accepted and loved and granted through kindness and acts of kindness through the world. So thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Whew. Our next special guest today is going to be Laura Stansu.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Tiana. I'm really grateful to be here at this global meeting. Tiana, could you help me with my presentation, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the topic today is SDG 5, gender equality. And it's, no, could you share the presentation that I sent on email?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much. And I believe it is a very important topic nowadays, because women and girls are really struggling to show that they are really important in society, that their role is vital if we want society to improve, to have the achievements that are necessary for. Okay, thank you. So we need to recognize that women are important and that women are at the heart of the universe. We need to empower women, because empowering women means to empower the world. And SDG 5 means to achieve gender equality and empower all girls. because the world wouldn't be the same without our contribution, without the contribution of women and girls. These are the targets of SDG 5: to end discrimination against women and girls, to end all violence against the exploitation of girls, to eliminate forced marriages and mutilation, to value unpaid care and promote shared domestic responsibilities, to ensure full participation in leadership and decision making, universal access to reproductive health and rights, equal rights to economic resources, property ownership, and financial services, promote empowerment of women through technology, and adopt and strengthen policies and enforce legislation for gender equality. And these are just some statistics about gender equality, the European, and the truth is that still today women are victims of violence. They are considered less strong than men, and that is why men feel that they need to control them, that they need to control, that they need to impose their point of view and feel and make women their think about women as their property, as people who have to do what men tell them. And this is something that we have to fight against. We have to end this gender gap and give women and girls the right to education so that they can have a better future, so that they can build a future for themselves. And the statistics shows that there is a great gap between the employment of and again a great gap between the amount that men are paid for the same work and what women are paid. Women are considered in some parts of the world that their work is not valuable enough, is not good enough. So that is why they aren't paid the same. And one more important thing is leadership positions. Women need to be supported in order to have leadership positions, and they need to be supported in order to share their caring responsibilities. Caring for their children is not only a women's job. Of course, women are and will always be mothers, and that is why there is no one who can replace the care and attention they give. But there are some things that men could do just as well and take some of the burden, some of this burden off the shoulders of women so that they can also focus their attention on education, on and free time, not so something that would help them to be better mentally and to feel more active, to feel that they're doing an active role in society. Next, please. Okay. Next. Yes, behind every successful woman is herself. We need, as women, we need to empower each other and believe in ourselves and to build our own future through education, through studies, and through courage. We need courage to show society that we can do it. We can achieve a better future for us and for our daughters. we need to achieve gender equality. Empowering women means empowering the world, and we have lots of battles ahead. Social bias, stereotypes, prejudice, patriarchy, educational inequality, these and economic inequality brought again and connected with education equality and access to equal opportunities. We need to admit that women and do are capable of doing the same things as men in some fields, and we need to give them the right place in society. So why do we need to achieve gender equality? There are educational problems, lack of access to quality education, lack of support. Women need support, women need access to the education they deserve. Difficulties surpassing problems related to the role assigned by society. Women are mothers, but they can also be leaders. So we need to break these barriers. Gender prejudice, the way women are perceived. Some women have low confidence in themselves, lack of trust in their skills and their abilities, lack of unity between women. Women need to empower each other, to support each other. And one of the greatest problems is poverty. A woman who is not educated, doesn't have access to a good job, cannot provide for herself and for her family. And this, of course, leads to poverty. So it's a circle that we have to break. And this is related to education. So gender equality is related to quality education because providing quality education is vital for every society in order to achieve gender equality. When children, boys and girls are educated, when they are allowed to enhance their skills and expand their knowledge, they can significantly contribute to the well-being of their families and society in various aspects, thus creating a stable and powerful community. So empowering and educating women leads to gender equality and leads to a better society. They can bring an active contribution. One of the problems is that many girls are not able or are not allowed to attend school. Target 4.5 states that by 2030, we need to eliminate gender disparities in education and ensure equal access to all levels of education and vocational training for the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities, indigenous people, and children in vulnerable situations. Girls are missing out on their education because of various factors, including poverty, child marriage, gender-based violence, conflict, and patriarchal gender norms that often favor boys while investing in education. Education plays a key role in economic growth in terms of increased productivity, efficiency, improved income, and socialization or social integration. When girls miss education, they risk being excluded from lifelong self-actualization, including exploring their maximum productivity, social capital, problem solving, and intellectual skills. This is why we are all responsible for giving girls a voice. We have to be the change because there is no force equal to a woman determined to rise. We only have to open the door of success and let women rise. Let girls show society that they can be leaders, that they can become the best version of themselves. We need to set examples, we need to inspire and motivate. We need to give wings to the young generation so that they can rise high. Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another. We're strongest when we cheer each other on. Feminism isn't about making strong. Women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength. And I want to remind you that every great woman in history was once a little girl who believed in herself, who was encouraged to fight for her dreams and never give up on her ambitions. Women who believed they were equal to men, who believed in empowerment, who believed in self-accomplishment, and they remained in history. And history recognizes their worth, their value, and their success. Women empowerment means increasing the strength of a woman socially, economically, and emotionally. All these things matter. Help women develop confidence in their own lives. So reach out, helping hand, and give strength to all women so that we can achieve gender equality. An equal society is a successful one. And no matter where you are in life, inspire and empower the women around you, because success is never reached alone, and wisdom and wealth are sweeter when they are shared. Let's all fight for gender equality. Let's all achieve a better society where everyone is equal. Thank you so much, Tiana, for the opportunity to be today. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was amazing to see history has women that were giving great value and a source of power, a source of love, a source of faith. So it does give us all hope that women can achieve anything. Women's lives do exist and God exists within the woman. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you. And congratulations to all who are present here today.
Thank you so much. So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to call our next special guest. Okay, we're going to call our next special guest. And today that's going to be Oliver Maharo. Welcome. We're speaking on gender equality for all lives and women's lives. We will circle back to her and we will call our next. Oh, there you are. There she
Hello.
is. Hi.
Sorry, I did not hear you.
Today, we want you to discuss how important it is for gender equality.
Okay. Now, for me, how I understand gender equality, the importance of gender equality is that it brings the workability between the male and female and male gender. then it feels that like there is no one that is less than another one, or there is no one that is better than another one. Because before the gender equality that he has put into place, it seemed to sound like men are greater than women. They can do greater things than the women that they could do. Even though the women were doing a lot of work, even if it's house work, it is also that good thing to be home cooking for the husbands, raising children. It is not an easy job, but it was considered like they are doing nothing. So when their work at home was recognized as an important work they are doing also.
Eu vou aproveitar que vocês estão se organizando e vou entrar na reunião da Cauê. Hoje,
You can't hear me? You can hear me? Okay. Yeah. So I was saying my experience about how I see my gender equality. I am talking about before the gender equality before maybe governments have put the effort into gender equality, and after governments have put effort into gender equality. Before, the work of wives, as a lot of them were housewives, their work, even though was not that important, it was not recognized as important. So after what they are doing at home, raising children, cooking for husband, cleaning house, whatever, a lot of work at home, when what they are doing was recognized, it boosted their self-esteem that they are doing something for community, even though they are not going to jobs, but they are doing also something that is important. Raising children is something that is even more important that they can ever see. But also, the meaning of gender equality is recognizing what men are doing and what women are doing. It's important that also men go to job to provide for the house. And it is also important that the women stay home, then look after the children so that those children can be raised in good hands, being raised by at least one parent is looking after them so that they can be raised in good hands, not being grown up by themselves. So after the gender equality, after the governments have put the effort in gender equality, I can say that women are happy, and also it is bringing workability between the men and women. No one is thinking of themselves like they are less, and no one is thinking of themselves as greater than others. So that brings unity among men and the women. And it has shown that what men can do, women can do. What women can do, men can do. So there is no pointing like women can do this, men cannot. Men can do this, women cannot do this. It's important that now men and women, we are all having equal opportunities. Then you try your best. When you fail, it doesn't mean that because you are a woman, you are not eligible for this opportunity. It's something very important. It is raising self-esteem in women, and it's important when people have that mindset, positive mindset, that I can do this. I have given the opportunity. This is now for me to show that I'm able. And when you are competent, you are given that opportunity to show your competence. And it's also good that women are also standing up and they are doing greater things like the men are also doing the greater things. So what I like about this gender equality is bringing unity among men and women. We are all working together, feeling like we are all equal. Yeah, if them now what I like about this, sometimes even a man at home might not have a job. A woman can find a job and provide for the house. It is different from how it was before. If a man wouldn't have a job, it would be the end of the thriving of the house. But now if a man loses a job, a woman will go to a job, then a man take care of the housework, then a woman go to a job and provide for the house. That is okay, it's fine. No matter who brings food, it's food. If it's a man who brought it or if it's a woman who brought food, doesn't matter that you will eat. What's important is that you will eat. So what I like about it, there is no limitations about who is going to do this. This is going to be done by who. Who is there, who is able to do, who has got time, we do something to bring the development of the house. And when there is that good relationships in homes, when there is that workability in homes, or the development of countries, continents, and the world starts from home. When there is that workabilities in home, a woman feels like it is valued at home. When you feel positive about yourself, you think positive. When you think positive, you become more productive. And man or woman wouldn't like to be with someone who is more productive. And when there is such a that spirit at home, or feeling like everyone is contributing in the house, that kind of relationship is where even these children will grow into a nice spirit that where they will grow in a house of there is no walls. Now, women are not being beaten in homes nowadays. I don't know, in Africa, a lot of some women would be beaten by their men. I'm happy that now it's reducing. Not a lot of women are being beaten at home since this gender equality has brought up. Now, women have their rights to, there is a law that punishes people who beat their wives. There are also some wives who would beat their husbands. So what I like about this gender equality is that it feels like we are all the same. We can all do things at the same level. We all have the same IQ. Also, men are smart, women are smart. What man can do, woman can do. What a woman can do, a man can do. So that brings good relationships. And when in one home there is a good relationship, another home there is a good relationship, this makes the whole country. All the countries make the continent, and all the continents make the whole world. That's what brings the better world when there is when that gender equality is put into consideration. Yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you. And you're right. There needs to be more people that are balancing out their time and the efforts they do with each other for equality. So if a woman can't do it, a man can do it. If a man can't do it, a woman can do it. You are completely right about that. So having balance of an existence of all lives, women's lives, all lives do exist, and women's lives do exist, shows equality and faith that they can overcome any life circumstance. You're right about that. So thank you. Thank you. Our next special speaker is Vilma Barbosa from Brazil.
Hi, dear. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Vilma Barbosa from Brazil, and it's a great pleasure being here talking about this important topic, gender equality. It is something that we have to work with our girls since they are really, really young, and we have to empower them and to teach them that yes, they can do anything. I guess that in your communities, mainly the poor ones, we have so many girls where their moms have many kids, and then as they are poor ones, they think they don't have the opportunity to study and have a better future. But we've been working with some projects here in our community, and we have been teaching our girls that if they study hard, if they want to do something, they have to study hard, and we are empowering them. And we are teaching them that isn't it because their mothers have many kids that they have to do the same, that if they study, they have the opportunity to have a better future. And then that's why it's important that we teach our girls, boys as well, but girls, that they have to fight for everything that they want, that we are able to do anything. Here in Brazil, unfortunately, there are some jobs where girls are not as well paid as boys. And this is something that we have to change, because we are able to do anything, the same thing as boys do. And then how we get there? We have to teach our girls that they are able to do that. But first of all, we have to work hard to learn, and also teach the boys to respect girls, because we see that sometimes we are not respected, our girls are not respected. And if we teach our girls that they have to learn and work hard, and also teach boys to respect the girls, then we won't have problems anymore. And it's really, really important topic to work with. And there are so many projects that can be worked with our communities and girls. And thank you, Tiana, for the opportunity of being here. Thank you, everyone, for this opportunity. Thank you. I'm going to back to classes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You did an amazing job, and continue to teach girls and teach people how to be humane, and other people will know what you're doing. You're a great teacher. Thank you so much.
I thank you.
Okay, our next special guest is another teacher. That's our third teacher today, guys. Melissa Esposito. Welcome.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody. I want to speak to you about gender equality. What are we at? Gender equality is goal 5 of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Although the notable steps have been taken on the road to women's rights, full gender equality today is still an objective to be achieved. In fact, even in countries where by law there should be no differences between the sexes, in reality, power and responsibility in economic, political, and social life are most cases attributed to representatives of the male gender. In other contexts, then with more rigid juridical and cultural outlines, the female condition is still undergoes the legacies and constraints of a tradition that wants them to play a subordinate role in society. An alarming delay. Compared to the past, today the world is a better place for women. According to the report, the Gender Snapshot of 2019, some indicators of gender equality show progress. For example, there has been a significant decline in the practice of male mutilation and early marriage. In the first case, between 2000 and 2018, the percentage dropped by 25%. In the second case, in South Asia, the phenomenon has decreased by 25% over the last 5 years. Other positive signs are the greater presence of women in national and international governing bodies and formulation of laws that promote gender equality. Despite this, over 200 million women are subjected to sexual mutilation, and 18% of women and girls between 15 and 49 years old are still victims of domestic violence, a percentage which rises to 24% in less advanced countries. Furthermore, other forms of discrimination, legal and social, do not seem to disappear and prevent the achievement of desired results of this goal. Not to mention that women around the world continue to face obstacles in their right to health, especially as regards sexuality and reproduction. Finally, the low level of participation of women in decision-making processes and the so-called gender pay gap, that is the difference in earnings of women for equal jobs compared to men, should be noted. What to do? What can we do? Women rights progress in any context coexistence. The situation of women is a formidable litmus test of the degree of civilization achieved by social and economic policies. We are changing women's lives. Women are changing the world is one of the slogans of NGO Women's Learning Partnership, whose founder and president Manaz Afkami declared that the status of women in society has become the standard by which it can be measured the progress of humanity towards civilization and peace. International awareness of these issues developed later. Only in 2011, the UN set up its own body for gender equality and female empowerment, which is responsible for creating an environment in which every woman can exercise her rights and develop her potential. A commitment that is expanding to transform the goals of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development around the world, in reducing inequalities for women and girls. An objective that can be achieved by promoting models that offer both genders the same opportunities for access to all decision-making levels, working to overcome stereotypes and discrimination, spreading a culture of sharing domestic tasks and care, protecting the weakest groups such as migrants, refugees, to integration and assistance programs. From childhood to adults, discrimination starts from childhood. It is girls and adolescents who are most at risk, as UNICEF says. Treatment is the first years of life is essential for socio-cultural education. Many girls who have become adults are unable to integrate fully into society, from ghost girls who are not registered in the registry and thus have no rights, no school, no health care, to child brides forced into marriage with older men to whom they must complete submission, to exclusion from education due to stereotypes on the roles of males and females, for which women must dedicate themselves to home and family. A specific education sector to which the ANU pays particular attention, that of the so-called STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics field. Among the numerous initiatives, those support of the training and learning of girls and girls of the scientific fields are considered fundamental for the emancipation of those who unfortunately still live in disadvantageous conditions. Likewise, the commitment to support research conducted by scientists is very strong, with the aim of reducing the gender gap present in this field. And in Italy, what does it happen? According to the ESLIS 2019 report on Goal 5, the situation in Italy has seen significant improvements in recent years. In particular, this trend concerns female participation in decision-making bodies, in particular on the boards of directors or listed companies. Although the large gender gaps in pay still persist. On the front of domestic and gender-based violence, measures have been introduced to protect the victims, but the phenomenon in Italy experiences continuous episodes of violence against women and feminicide. Male violence against women is a phenomenon that presents the sharing and impressive data. In 2019, a report created on this issue by the state police, the data speak of 88 victims every day, 1 woman every 15 minutes. Furthermore, even more disturbing, in our country, even 72 hours, a woman is killed by a person that she knows, and 3 out of 4 feminicides take place at home. Even Istat, in its surveys on anti-violence centers in Italy, published recent data according to which it appears that over 40,000 women have turned to the centers. This is not the only worrying data. In fact, compared to the objective of the ratification law of the Istanbul Convention of 2013, which would provide for an anti-violence center for every 10,000 inhabitants, about 300 anti-violence centers are active in Italy, equal to 0.05 centers for every 10,000 inhabitants, a figure that denounces the inadequacy of the offer of anti-violence centers. Within the figures referring to women taken to care, there are foreign women and those who have at least 1 child, stories and situations that can aggravate an already tragic situation. And these are only the data that emerge. The real problem is to bring to light the hidden or denied situations of male violence against women. Finally, it should be noted that behind the word violence, there are various forms, all deplorable, of oppression, humiliation, and oppression. An opportunity to reflect on this worrying topic and to take stock of the situation is 25th November, the United Nations World Day against violence against women. What can we do? We can observe for a week the news reported by newspapers and those you find on the internet about to identify news related to gender discrimination. Collect them and discuss them with your students if you are a teacher, and if you are a parent with your children. Comparing them with those of your classmates or your children. On the DEA Wing website, you will find the data of the gender inequality index starting from 2012. We could prepare a short exposition for comment in reading these lessons. In the world, one of the most frequent gender discrimination is the economic one, the so-called gender pay gap. Women with the same duties and responsibilities earn less than men. This phenomenon also occurs in an economically developed continent like Europe. Based on the data shown on the OECD graph, what reflections can you make on the geographical distribution with those countries? You can take a research about this. And on the website of the European Institute for Gender Equality, consult the page relating to the Gender Equality Index 2019, in particular by activating the Compare Countries function by visualizing the data with the maps tables, graphs, compare countries, and obtain informations on the local situation of the continent. And so you can see what areas are most advanced in terms of respect to gender differences. And you can keep informed, follow local and international news on the available media, TV, web, magazine, and newspapers. Be aware of gender stereotypes, recognizing them helps avoid them and can help others reflect on gender inequalities. React in the face of injustice. Whenever we see or notice a situation in which the dignity of women is offended, at school, on the streets, on the internet, we can clearly express our dissension. Silence is an only discrimination. Searching for female leadership models in various fields, political, cultural, artistic, economic. The contribution of women to civilization is often unknown and underestimated. Sharing the burden of household responsibility ensures for sharing our housework and educates in the value of gender equality. I thank you. My speech is ended, and I thank you, Tiana, for inviting me in this session. A great session and a great topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we love to hear from you from Italy. And I believe that the United Nations has a goal here, and the goal is to show that equality exists in all life, but women need that rise. We need that equal understanding of acknowledgement and accountability. And I believe that things will change. So thank you so much for all the facts and all the information that you shared. Thank you so much. Thank you. Our next special guest is from Greece. Her name is Reina Lampou. Welcome.
Good evening to all. Thank you very much, Tiana, for your kind invitation. I'm very, very happy to be here today among friends and eminent speakers. So today it's interesting to highlight issues related to women's empowerment, gender equality as a component of social justice as an engine for economic growth, because gender equality and sustainable development are closely related in the Sustainable Development Goal 5 of the agenda, and the challenges of building pathways to sustainability and enhancing gender equality are both urgent. So moral, ethical, and practical reasons show why gender equality must be integral to sustainable development. First, it is a moral and ethical imperative because building more equitable gender relations that support the human rights, dignity, and capabilities of women intersected by differences of age, of class, of sexuality, and ability is a central requirement of an ethical world order. Second, given the fact that women suffer most, according to recent research, they suffer most from environmental, climatic, and economic shocks and stresses, undermining their vital roles in sustaining their families and communities. Patterns must be redressed to help them not to become victims anymore. And most significant is the need to build on women's agency. So attention to gender offers routes and to improve resource productivity and efficiency, to enhance ecosystem conservation and sustainable use, and to build a more sustainable world. So we need to reimagine a sustainable world in which gender equality is a key element and provide powerful tools to enable such transformation. So may I share now my presentation? Is possible.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you maybe share screening? Okay, thank you. Is it visible now?
Yes, you are visible.
Yes.
So
Okay,
it's not
so
visible.
we live in a world of growing inequality with worsening predictions on how long it's going to take to close the gender gap. And this is despite the fact that 185 countries having gender equality embedded in their constitutions and 187 countries having signed the Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. And despite 51 founding members of the United Nations, despite this fact that these members have approved the final words of the UN Charter, which speak of equal rights of men and women. So it's important to achieve gender equality, guaranteeing the full implementation of existing human rights agreements, including the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Convention on Elimination, the Beijing Platform for Action, the Cairo Program of Action, the outcome of UN Conference on Sustainable Development, and all these agreed conclusions actually have the same goals. We talk about the human rights principles such as universality, indivisibility, the dependence, participation, accountability, equality, and non-discrimination. So far, what is happening, women make up 3% of the world's parliamentarians, 7% of heads of states, and 6% of heads of government. They only hold 12% of board positions in businesses across the world, and 9% of CEO positions, 24% of senior management roles. So we talk about still inequality, and therefore women need empowerment. Why empowerment is actually, this is multidimensional process encompassing changes in the political, social, economic spheres of life, and these different dimensions of empowerment are closely related, so that significant changes in one dimension is likely to generate changes in others. And this economic empowerment relates to the enhancement of women's capacity for strategic choice and agency in the sphere of economy, and this possibility opens up for change in other spheres of their lives. So there are many, a number of arguments as to why focus on women economic empowerment, why this is important. First of all, gender inequalities, the division of labor between paid and unpaid work, women's primary responsibility for unpaid care work within the home, and this associated inequalities in access to valuable resources and opportunities. Of course, women are still dependent on male provision for themselves, and of course, women lack still of strategic agency. We talked about the Convention on Elimination, which is actually a national bill of rights for women. It sets an agenda for national action to end such discrimination. And we all know how Hillary Clinton had declared in the Beijing Conference in 1995 that human rights are women's rights. And she said that women must enjoy the right to participate fully in the social and political lives of the countries if we want freedom and democracy to thrive and endure. So what are the gender-specific constraints? These are mostly institutionalized, and that means that we talk about wider societal ideologies about gender difference, context-specific cultural restriction of women's movement, gender-differentiated rules about the distribution of property and the allocation of various resources, and gender-specific constraints that translate into gender inequalities in the distribution of value resources. What happens now in the world of business? Gender differences in laws affect both developed and developing countries. Women still remain less likely to participate in the labor market. They're more likely to be unemployed than men. They are overrepresented in informal and vulnerable employment. Women are less paid less than men, and they bear responsibility for unpaid care and domestic work. At the same time, women are less likely to have access to social protection. They're less likely to have access to financial institutions or have a bank account. They're less likely to be entrepreneurs. We know how women, they don't like to take risk and they don't ask for loans. It's a very characteristic about this. Women are constrained from achieving the highest leadership position, and the case of violence, sexual harassment, which is increased dramatically, especially after during pandemic and after. Women and girls suffer most from therefore safely managed water sanitation. It's about the environmental crisis that I mentioned before. Women and girls are most likely to carry the burden of energy poverty and experience the adverse effects of lack of safe, reliable, and affordable and clean energy. Environmental degradation, climate change have disproportionate impact on women and children. And what are the factors that constrain women's economic development? There are direct factors and indirect factors linked to women's individual collective experience and underlying factors which are the wider structural conditions that define women's individual or collective experiences. So direct factors: education, access to quality, address unpaid care, collective action, leadership, social protection, and underlying factors: labor market, fiscal policy, legal regulatory policy framework, and gender norms. So still, although progress has been made, we talk still about gender parity in education. There are still countries, sub-Sahara, for instance, we can talk about discriminatory social norms and practices such as early marriage and the gender division of household labor. What are the benefits of economic empowerment? It's empowering women in the economy and closing gender gaps are, of course, the key to achieving the agenda of sustainable development. Where more women work, economies grow. Increasing women's and girls' education attainment contributes to women's economic empowerment, more inclusive economic growth, and of course, this is good for business. Women have proved so far that they can be great leaders. So why? Because first of all, there are those who can paint and shape the future. There are unique transformational ideas that can be brought to the front. There's no doubt that the women demonstrate passion, they demonstrate enthusiasm, capability to take command of the situation when it is needed. Women are able to make bold and wise decisions as leaders, and this helps make the team environment less authoritative and more cooperative. Of course, they demonstrate superior leadership roles according to recent research. There is this ability of communication with the personal skills, because communication is said and known to be among women's strongest skill. We talk about also how women leaders can achieve a better financial outcome. Within a more diverse workplace, the more likely creative ideas are going to be presented. This helps more sustainability within organizations. So diversity in a workplace should not just prioritize women, but instead have a fluid combination of both genders throughout the organization. And this gender diversity in a workplace helps increase productivity, creativity, improves performance, staff retention, and of course, better collaboration. So women have more fresh outlooks and perspectives. Women leaders can provide better mentorship, and women have also the ability to wear many hats because we can bear and assume multiple roles at the same time. And of course, most main characteristics of women concern our self-confidence, our optimism, our positivity, the ability to go getter, to putting dreams into action. So envision great opportunities in the future. When we envision positive outcomes, we are more likely to achieve this vision. We are caring and true to ourselves. Of course, there's another chapter here that concerns the inequalities in access to land and property. In rural areas, women's disadvantaged status within both statutory and customary land tenure system has constituted the major barrier. So insecurity in rights to homestead land and housing underpins women's insecurity in other aspects of their lives. Gender-based violence is a huge chapter here. there have been some steps to address this gender-based violence, first of all by the Committee on Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, which actually urges states to take a number of actions to criminalize all forms of GBV and taking measures to prevent gender-based violence. We can mention the case of the global movement, the Me Too movement, which was founded recently, actually, and it's a movement which became global. Here in Greece, it's very, very popular because we have many cases of sexual harassment and sexual abuse, especially in the workplace. Still, of course, there are women who are afraid to report stigma, fear of retribution, etc. In India, it's interesting to mention the 2013 POSH Act, which actually mandates employers to take steps to protect the female employers from sexual harassment in the workplace. It's an act which protects all workers in any place to be women workers to be protected. There's a case of women migrant workers also. Women migrant workers, they are often concentrated, we don't know, they're usually educated, but they're concentrated in informal, low-paid and unregulated work. They are highly skilled, but they are not employed in formal work. And women with disabilities, another group who face economic challenges, social challenges, cause difficult health problems. There are some examples of solutions, for instance, has successfully utilized technology to spread information, empowering young persons using YouReport in Uganda. YouReport is a free SMS social monitoring tool designed to engage users in issues they care about. And there are other examples, is the Women's Refugee Commission toolkit for child protection across, and many other examples that try to help women and young persons with disability, because we need to ensure accessible emergency medical care for these women and help especially victims or survivors of GBV. So what could be the recommendation in general? How to enact policies to overcome women's and access to economic opportunities, including promoting equal pay for equal work, combat gender labor market segregation, shifting tax structures, providing incentives for employers, prohibit sexual harassment, value distributing unpaid work, ensure full employment, decent work, and enforce labor rights. Promote programs. Sorry, something happened. I have stopped my presentation.
Sorry, something happened. But we do want to let you know in order to get the certificate, you have to be at the time, but something did happen with our computer. And thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to say about myself that as an educator, I'm trying fighting for the equality between women and men in the field of natural sciences. So I'm trying to encourage women and girls in STEM through different programs. We organize radio shows also about women's science, and you can find also educational videos that we have created about women's science from Marie Curie till today. It was awarded in the European competition Diversity in STEM. And also recently I launched also a program in Nigeria. Nigeria, there's a high rate of gender-based violence there. And this program aims to combine STEM education with gender-based violence awareness and help children there through challenging activities, students who suffer from gender-related conflicts. So thank you very much for your attention. And thank you very much for your invitation also.
Thank you. And if you want to go back and show us anything else, we were able to fix the computer.
If it's possible to show my, yes.
Yes, please.
It's interesting during the COVID pandemic to see how women actually suffer and they were more likely to lose their job and also to feel burnout with the COVID pandemic. And we talk about the relation between women and climate change. It's a very interesting topic for research because women bear all this responsibility. How women are employed in energy infrastructure. I'm trying to form a group of volunteers of women in order to help women and girls in STEM, organizing programs. Here is my program, Gender-Based Violence, which is launched in Nigeria, and it's based on Sustainable Development Goals. Here is my program, another program with my students, educational video, which contains the portraits of 30 eminent women in science, which was presented also during on the National Women's Day on the Greek national television show. And of course, what Melissa said already, that women STEM, but less than 30% of researchers worldwide are women, and only around 35% of female students select STEM-related fields. We talk about only 3% in ICT, 5% science, mathematics, statistics, and 8% in engineering. Well, with the exception of biology, here we can see in all other fields, women are still underrepresented. We all know about the key factors about this: gender stereotypes, male-dominated cultures, fewer role models, math anxiety. And for concluding, I want to say that in 1975, 3 months after the close of the UN conference in Mexico, 90% of women in Iceland went on strike for a day. They refused to go to work, to cook, to clean, or look after the children. And what actually Icelandic women were doing was calling on men to respect their work and demand equal pay. So in 2018, Iceland became the first country in the world to make companies prove that they are not paying women less than men for the same work. So this took 42 years. Thank you very much, and Diana, and wish you all the best for all this amazing program that you have organized. It's actually a big program every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that was very informational. And you're always on point with everything that you say and how you're following through. I've watched you on many programs, and your presentations are inspiring because you're raising the bar for women. You're giving people a lot of encouragement by showing your inner strengths. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next special guest is Poonam Gathi. Are you still with us? I think that we lost her. Our next special guest will be Dr. Anita Caprice.
Hi, and Tiana, I do see Poonam Gathi. I see her in the chat, I mean in the Zoom.
Okay, I see her, she came back.
Okay.
Are you ready? Poonam Gathi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it's your
Good
turn.
evening. Okay, good evening to all of you. Today the day is 5th and topic is gender equality. Can I share my screen, ma'am? It is possible.
Yes, ma'am, 1 second.
Okay.
All set.
Yes, ma'am, it is audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Hello. Okay. Day 5, topic gender equality. Gender equality means equal rights for both men and women. That is, both genders should get equal responsibility in all the fields. Both men and women are important part of our society. We have been seeing that since ancient times, men and women are considered as an important part of society. If we do not give them equal rights, then one side of us will become frustrated, due to which we will not be able to awaken the feeling of social peace in us. Empowerment is such a topic which has been proved by women since ancient times, and people of that time have also accepted it. Whether we talk about Sati Ansuya or talk about Gargi, Gandhari, Kunti, Draupadi, and about Kekai, they were not less than men in any form. Even in that era, women had equal rights, even if we could see it in the form of Swayamvar and could also see in the world. When the era changed, the uncivilized society came. In that society, the work which has related to the home was given to the man, and the work which needed physical strength and the work which was to be done outside the house, the men kept it themselves. The reason for this, maybe she was considered weak, and they considered that she would not be able to face all these situations. When the Vedic era started, the queens had the right to attend the Rajya Sabha, and their miserable conditions decreased, and they got the right of receive education. If we talk about outside India, even the women had a high status, and in this, the biggest example is that of Florence Nightingale, who wanted to become a nurse, but due to dignity of the family, she was sent away from home by not giving her valid rights. But keeping in mind about human welfare, she kept her desire awake, and she became nurse and perspective herself as an example of women empowerment. We can not forget Mother Teresa either. Looking at the Indian perspective, during the British rule, Rani Lakshmi Bai set herself as an example of strong women empowerment. In the male-dominant society, where in today's time giving any right to a woman is considered as giving her power and has sense of friendship, giving any right to women is like doing her favor, and they believe that women are not able for this. Refusing this concept, Mrs. Indira Gandhi presented herself as a successful prime minister, and likewise other women proved themselves in other fields, be it education, judicial field, administrative field, sport field, traveling to space, or it is the field of acting. Women have set an example in all these fields. But the male-dominated society does not believe in women empowerment. There are only a few women who are able to fulfill their dreams. Women, which is 50% of population of our country, still do not have equal right to education. If we talk about scooter, also there is no name of women working in agriculture. Even today, In our society, daughters are considered as burdens. They are also discriminated against in their diet. They are denied education. However, an educated girl can educate an entire family. Nature has also created an equal environment for all, the sunrise for all, the same winds blow for all, and we are also the element of the nature. So how can we give more rights to one and less to the other? These are the problems which I have presented in a small form. We have to see the solution too. The government has made many schemes like Women Component Plan under the 9th 5-year plan, Mahila plus Balika Samriddhi Yojana, National Program for Educational Girls at Elementary Level, Ladli Lakshmi Yojana, Apni Beti Apna Dhan. Apart from these, we should not use such word in the society which discriminates the male and the female. From school education itself, use those words which are same for both. In the field of sport, we should give importance to players rather than giving importance to the gender. They way, we are giving equal rights to girls in the army. In the same way, we should give equal rights to them in the field of sports also. Just as it was been said that a healthy mind develops in a healthy body, in the same way, a healthy society is formed by the spirit of uniformity. Thank you, ma'am, to give me this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I believe you can achieve anything by giving them equal rights. If we continue to give them rights, we give them power and we give them a sense of humanity, a sense of comfort. So you're correct. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Our next
Thank you,
special
ma'am.
guest, thank you. Our next special guest is Dr. Pratik Munjekar.
Thank you. Greetings from India. Thank you so much, dear Tiana. So, my topic is gender equality for development. So, gender equality is a human right, but our world faces a persistent gap in access to opportunities and decision-making power for women and men. Globally, women have fewer opportunities for economic participation than men, less access to basic and higher education, greater health and safety risk, and less political representation. Guaranteeing the rights of women and giving them opportunities to reach their full potential is critical not only for attaining gender equality, but also for meeting a wide range of international development goals. Empowered women and girls contribute to the health and productivity of their families, communities, and countries, creating a ripple effect that benefits everyone. The word gender describes the socially constructed roles and responsibilities that societies consider appropriate for men and women. Gender equality means that men and women have equal power and equal opportunities for financial independence, education, and personal development. Women's empowerment is a critical aspect of achieving gender equality. It includes increasing women's sense of self-worth, her decision-making power, her access to opportunities and resources, her power and control over her own life inside and outside the home, and her ability to effect change. Yet, gender issues are not focused on women alone. but on the relationship between men and women in society. The actions and attributes of men and boys play an essential role in achieving gender equality. Education. Education is a key area of focus. Although the world is making progress in achieving gender parity in education, girls still make up a higher percentage out of school children than boys. Approximately 1/4 of girls in the developing world do not attend school. Typically, families with limited means who cannot afford costs such as school fees, uniforms, and supplies for all their children will prioritize education for their sons. Families may also rely on girls' labor for household chores, carrying water and childcare, leaving limited time for schooling, but prioritizing girls' education provides perhaps the single highest return on you can say investment in the developing world. An educated girl is more likely to postpone marriage, raise a smaller family, have healthier children, and send her own children to school. She has more opportunities to earn an income and to participate in political processes, and she is less likely to become infected with HIV. You know, women's health and safety is another important area. HIV/AIDS is becoming an increasingly impactful issue for women. This can be related to women having fewer opportunities for health education, unequal power in sexual partnership, or as a result of gender-based violence. So maternal health is also another example is maternal health is also an issue of specific concern. In many countries, women have limited access to prenatal and infant care and are more likely to experience complications during pregnancy and childbirth. This is a critical concern in countries where girls marry and have children before they are ready, often well before the age of 18. Quality maternal health care can provide an important entry point for information and services that empower mothers as informed decision makers concerning their own health and the health of their children. And lastly, I would like to conclude with globally, no country has fully attained gender equality. Scandinavian countries like Ireland, Norway, Finland, and Sweden led the world in their progress toward closing the gender gap. In these countries, there is relatively equitable distribution of available income, resources, and opportunities for men and women. The greatest gender gaps are identified primarily in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia. However, a number of countries in this region, including Lesotho, South Africa, Sri Lanka, outrank the United States in gender equality. A final area of focus in attaining gender equality is women's economic and political empowerment. Though women comprise more than 50% of the world population, they only own 1% of the world's wealth. Throughout the world, women and girls perform long hours of unpaid domestic work. In some places, women still lack rights to own land or inherit property, obtain access to credit, earn income, or to move in their workplace free from job discrimination. At all levels, including at home and in the public area, women are widely underrepresented as decision makers. So in legislators around the world, women are outnumbered 4-1, yet women's political participation is crucial for achieving gender equality and genuine democracy. So we need to stand for women in every aspect. That's my final message to you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I believe that if we all stand together, there will be equality in the world. And it takes within our own mindset to create that world. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Our next special guest is Dr. Anita Caprice.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here. I see you, Tanya. Thank you, Tiana, and everyone. Yes, my topic was SDG number 8, and I'm Anita, mom of beautiful twin girls, 2 sons-in-law, and grandma to Precious 5. I normally I would do number 3, the wellness the wellness. This one, and I'm so glad that Tiana said, you know, that's full. You got to do another one, sis. So I had to choose another SGD. And I'm so glad that that happened. You know, everything is in divine proportion, time, love, and order. And I chose number 8. And I'm so glad I did, because at one time, you know, you prepare for your message to deliver a message. And when I just thought of it, decent work, economic growth. Well, I've been a metaphysician, a philosopher, practitioner for many years. And in my message, my message is for everyone. However, I specifically gear my message towards 50 plus. And the reason is that, and I'm also advocating for eliminating the word senior when it comes to a mature person, because studies have shown that that word does, according to Forbes magazine, that word does have a destructive negative connotation for senior, because when we graduate high school, we're moving on to something new. When we graduate college, we're senior, we move on to something new. Attaching the word senior to a person means, okay, they are at the end of their life. They are no longer a viable part of decent work and economic growth. So my action is to remove that word senior and replace with seasoned generation. Now, I have had the blessing, the absolute blessing, to serve also as a Michigan Unemployment Appeals advocate. Our mother, my sister, does the same, and our mother was pioneer in getting us in this work. It's since doing this, I don't know how many times where I'm representing, servicing someone, a seasoned individual, both man and woman, where they are in their 50s and they have lost their job. And in consulting with them to prepare them for the hearing, we actually get into, after preparing, getting into the personals. And it always goes down in this way. I'm too old. Nobody is going to want me. Now that breaks my heart. That's why even more so, my message is for the 50 plus, because during that consultation, I have had men cry on the phone because they feel that no one is going to want them, that no one is going to hire them, that no one is going to feel that they are worthy. Decent work and economic growth. And I always share, I said, well, I'm crying it with them too, because it breaks my heart to hear a man cry and feel that he's feeling emasculated, because our society, at least the Western part, this part of the world, feel that a seasoned person or someone with wisdom that have lived life, that can teach so much, is now no longer viable, no longer worthy of decent work and being part of economic growth. So I always share with that person, listen, that is not true. As a solo socialpreneur for many, many years, I left a 19-year job in 1998 to pursue, to really get my relationship with the Creator. And that has taught me many, many things, and it has developed my faith tremendously, and I'm still on the journey, praise God. However, I have learned, and I share with them, anytime, of course, being a solopreneur, of course, there are going to be down times, just like there are up times. So there have been times that I had to, as a 65-year young, seasoned, alluringly seasoned, and marvelously mature woman, I have been able to find employment without fail. So I would share with them, that's not true. I said, that is a condition that has been taught by society, and we need to erase the tapes. Women on the phone that would feel so down, you feel the energy that they are feeling less than a woman, because I am over 50 and I don't feel anyone is going to want me. Decent work and economic growth. And I'm saying this at this point because I have been blessed recently to say I have received 2 testimonies, and I said, "Praise God." One, I went to the post office to deliver books for this anthology that we're in, and I needed some help, and a sister came up to me. I said, "Hey, can you assist me?" And she said, "Yes." She said, "This is my second day." Now, here in the States, having a job at the U.S. Post Office is no joke. That's that's a nice living. You earning some nice as we call them ducats. You have a very nice and ducats by money. You have a very nice 501k plan, health insurance, and all that. So we were talking, and she says, "Yeah, this is my second day, so I'm a little nervous." And I said, "Well, congratulations." This sister, and of course I didn't ask her age, but we know this sister I know was in her 60s. Decent work. This sister was obtained some decent work, and it thrills, it touches, it makes my heart feel so good that I am seeing change here. Now here she is in her 60s, second day at a major job that she is going to be able to get a second retirement and going to be able to live and have decent work and contribute to the economic growth. I just went to another store the other day, and during that time, I needed some help. And a sister came over and said, "Hey, I can let me see. This is my second week, and this was at one of the major chains in my neighborhood. Where very a huge grocer chain." And I said, "Oh," I said, "Well, congratulations, of your job." This sister I know was in her 50s. So I'm, as far as decent work and economic growth, I am just so happy to see them both men and women. And it pleases my heart to no end. So the next time when I service a brother or a sister that is seasoned, that is a seasoned citizen, and they share that, hey, their heart is broken, they feel emasculated, or they feel unworthy or not woman enough because they feel someone is not going to want them in their job. I am so blessed. I just thank God. I thank God that I was shown that I can share with them. Listen, this is 2022. Let me share with you about this sister 60 plus that just got her job at the post office. Let me share with you with this sister 50 plus that just got her job at this major chain. So that's my message for today, is that us seasoned generation, we are contributing to the economic growth. We are benefiting, and we have the opportunity to share our wisdom to the youth. We have the opportunity to be a viable part of this community. And SDG number 8 is thriving. And for me, it is such a positive thing for me that we are moving up for both men and women. Thank you so much. That's my message for today.
Yes, and thriving you are, and thriving we are. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the
Wow.
heart, Professor Hayat. I appreciate you.
So our next special guest is Santosh Kumar. Welcome with Global Law Thinkers Society.
Yeah. Greetings to all, and greetings to Tiana and to all the dignitaries who are here. Happy to meet you all. Happy to meet all you people virtually here. And I'm here to talk about on the SDG 5. It is all about gender equality. Right from the good old past until now, people, including me, we all talk about gender equality. Are we striving for it? That is the basic question where we ourselves have to put forth first. And when it comes to gender equality, people, they say that certain customs, certain traditions, and in the Asian context, the umbrella term what people use is that in the name of culture. They say that culture restricts women folk, to achieve certain things in life. And at the same time, certain people who are said to be the typical social torch bearers, they say that women are said to be the custodians of culture. I repeat, women are said to be the custodians of culture, and they are supposed to keep the traditions alive. And of course, none of the religion, none of the customs, none of the traditions insist that women should be suppressed. None of the religion, none of the holy books do not insist as that women should be suppressed. Nothing like that. And when it comes to gender equality, the important thing is that, first of all, we should live in a society, or we should have a radical mindset that we should believe that all are equal. People can talk. People like us can talk in so many webinars, or people like so many intellectuals who represent the academic circle. They can say that women should be given equal space. But apart from all that, it is only the transformation. Our thought process should change first. When we start to think radically, obviously, women folks will be brought to the limelight, and that is the need of the hour. And we people, we say that we are said to be civilized human beings, and often we have a pride by saying that we are living in a globalized world, and we are said to be the modernized citizens, and we believe in civilization, civilized concepts, and it is not at all true. So, and I'm very sorry to use this particular jargon. We all of us are said to be civilized barbarians. We are living in that type of society. We talk about goods, but we celebrate bad and we mourn the goods. I hope you could understand the irony. We are living in a society where we mourn the good and we celebrate the bad. And living in this kind of chaotic society, living in a society which is purely fragmented, how can we strive for gender equality? Instead of expecting everyone for gender equality, it is us. It is us. It is right from the individual. It is only through individualism the collective movement starts. I would like to give a brief example of Virginia Woolf, a renowned literary writer, where she said that when she was not allowed to enter into the library at USA, at that time, she said that it is the universal call for the entire women folk to revolt against the patriarchy. Like that, women discourses, women writing in literature are creating a rampant discourse. And apart from that, women in the political scenario, they play a vital role. I hope since Tiana is here, I would be apt to talk about the Kamala Harris, who represent the diasporic community, and she is said to be a typical icon. As we all know, diaspora, the contemporary times, people criticize by saying that these citizens, they do not represent our own soil, they dominate all over the world. Of course, diaspora is not something, it's a new phenomenon. Diaspora is prevalent right from the good old past. People migrate from their own homeland to another land. It is not because of their economical pursuits, it's because of one's own welfare. And when Kamala Harris was elected as the vice president, people around the globe, particularly the diasporic community, the women, because one basic thing is that women folks around the globe, they are said to be the cultural torch bearers. And along with them, they uphold the family sanctity. They uphold the cultural sanctity. So instead of expecting the world to transform, transformation should start from us. We should be the icon. Instead of going behind the icon, we should be the icon to transform. So let's all strive towards the transformation. And women folks in the contemporary times, they are being placed very well. Even though they are being placed very well, are they being given economical independence? That's a very big question mark. Okay, even though people say women are given economical independence, but do they enjoy it? And the saddest truth in a country like India is that even though women are given economical independence, the problem is that in front of them there lies a concept called family. Okay, in the name of family, they sacrifice everything. And menfolk, being a man, I feel ashamed to say this. We take advantage when women take care of the family in all aspects. So it is high time for each and every one of us to think radically and to revolt radically and to put an end to all the patriarchal norms. So let us all strive for gender equality. Gender equality forever, forever gender equality, ever for gender equality. And thanks to each and everyone for listening to me patiently. And thank you so much, Tiana, for giving me an opportunity here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
It's very significant to see that women are in the rise of the 21st century. You did an amazing job. Continue to follow your heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tiana. Thank you.
And now we have a special video to show you guys. And this video is going to be from Karen Terry Raza.
Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Terry Raza from India. Before I begin, I would like to thank Tiana Jones, better known as Callie Faye, and Rupam Mukherjee for giving me this opportunity to be a speaker in this forum today, for which I will be speaking about SDG Goal 5, that's gender equality. Gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Women's rights are a global issue. Nowhere in the world women have the same liberties as male counterparts. It is not something that we can change overnight or even a few years to come. It's definitely going to take time. Though the mindset is changing with urbanization and education, but there is still a long way to permanently change the scenario. Since the social stigma that women are housekeepers and should be confined to the four walls of the house is perhaps and is a viable cause of gender disparity. Especially in patriarchal society, a lot of weightage is given to men. But the question arises here, how do we get rid of this old tradition and mentality? And how can we promote gender equality? Well, that is going to be beginning at home, where the parents teach their sons about equality and respect. Another major factor to try to erase the gender-based problem is by using education as a prime weapon. It should be incorporated in schools where they teach about equality. So at a tender age, when it is explained to them, they grow up with those thoughts in mind that we are all equal. Gender equality is a human right. But most women are unaware of their fundamental rights, even their capabilities. They accept all discriminatory practices that persist in families from generations in the name of tradition and social norms, primarily due to the ignorance and unawareness. Our world faces a persistent gap in access to opportunities and decision-making power for women. Besides that, legal literacy to educate women and young girls about knowing their rights should be a part of the curriculum because this definitely affects our community and overall countries. Unequal societies are less cohesive and they have higher rates of antisocial behavior and violence. And when a country has greater gender equality, they're always more connected. So gender equality definitely makes our community safer and healthier. Guaranteeing the rights of women and giving them opportunities to reach their full potential is very important. not just to attain gender equality, but also for meeting a wide range of international development goals. Because at all levels, including home and in public arena, women are widely underrepresented as decision makers. So women empowerment is a critical aspect of achieving gender equality, which includes increasing a woman's sense of self-worth, access to opportunities and resources, and her decision-making power. According to the World Economic Forum, it takes 108 years to achieve gender parity. But if we work towards this, we can definitely make this possible much earlier. It is truly a complicated human right issue for every country in the world. We all want to live in a safe and equal society. And when we need to be treated with dignity, respect, and fairness, with equal access to power, resources, and opportunities. So every community, school, workplace, businesses, and organizations need to build a culture of respect and fairness, so men and women can have the same opportunities for the achievement of important goals in society, such as education, employment, and income, and to contribute to political, social, and cultural development at all levels, since gender equality is a human right and not a female fight. So any shift towards more sustainable societies and countries has to include gender equality, because discrimination based on skin color, sexual orientation, and gender needs to stop. We are all humans and we are all entitled to live free and equal. Gender equality is not a woman's issue, it's a human issue, and it affects us all. When God does not discriminate against us, who are we to discriminate? Thank you.
That was excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you to Rupam for having her join, because women's lives do exist. So now we have another special video from Job Okello.
It is widely known that behind every great man, there's a great woman. Have you ever imagined a world without women? What do you think the world would look like without women? Don't women make life beautiful? In your wildest imaginations, what is life like without women? The Holy Bible records in the book of Genesis that God gave Adam, the first man, Eve, the first woman, as his helper, because it was not good for Adam to be alone. Women are special gifts from God to men. The day every man appreciates this is the day every man will accord every woman the special treatment they deserve. A real man loves a woman unconditionally. A real man respects a woman. A real man empowers a woman. A real man builds a woman. A real man teaches a woman. A real man protects a woman. A real man respects the dignity of a woman. A real man stands with a woman. A real man encourages a woman. A real man strengthens a woman. A real man supports a woman in all ways possible. A real man takes good care of a woman. A real man looks after a woman. A real man upholds the rights of a woman. A real man appreciates a woman. A real man cheers up a woman. A real man educates a woman. A real man brings glory to a woman. A real man inspires a woman. A real man brings out the best in a woman. A real man leads a woman. A real man praises a woman. A real man comforts a woman. A real man pushes up a woman. A real man pulls a woman from a pit. A real man does not look down on a woman. A real man does not harass a woman. A real man does not torture a woman. A real man does not handle a woman violently. A real man does not bring down a woman. A real man does not abuse a woman sexually. A real man is a beacon of hope to a woman. A real man is a spring of joy to a woman. A real man is a rock on which a woman stands. A real man is the pride of a woman. Fellow men, let's be real men. Today, the world is in short supply of real men. Are you a real man? Sustainable Development Goal number 5 aims to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls by 2030. According to the Sustainable Development Report 2021, nearly 1 in 3 women, about 736 million, have been subjected to physical or sexual violence at least once since the age of 15, usually by an intimate partner. Among girls and women who have been married or had a partner, nearly 24% of those aged 15 to 19 and 26% of those aged 20 to 24 have been subjected to such violence. Globally, an estimated 137 women are killed by their intimate partners or a family member every day. This is exceptionally unacceptable, unthinkable, and unreasonable. We must change the status quo. But how? Well, the great Chinese women's rights advocate, King Rongma, gave humanity the best solution when she said, the only way to solve the problem of women's subordination is to change people's mindset and to plant the new idea of gender equality into every mind. I long for the day on which we will end discrimination against women and girls. I long for the day on which we will end all violence against women and girls. I long for the day on which we will end all forms of exploitation of women and girls. I long for the day on which we will eliminate child marriages, forced marriages, and female genital mutilation. I long for the day on which we will value and pet care and promote shared domestic responsibilities. I long for the day on which we will ensure the full emancipation of women. I long for the day on which we will ensure the full participation of women in leadership and decision-making at all levels. I long for the day on which we will ensure universal access to reproductive health and rights. I long for the day on which we will ensure equal rights to economic resources, property ownership, and financial services. I long for the day on which we will have full empowerment of women through technology. I long for the day on which we will adopt and strengthen policies and enforceable legislation for gender equality. I long for the day on which we will provide equal access to opportunities to both men and women. The Ethiopians say, a home without a woman is like a barn without cattle. What a powerful proverb. Women are the custodians of homes. Without women, there are no homes. Men indeed make houses, but women make homes. We will never get to the promised land if we don't protect our women and girls. It is our responsibility to protect our women and girls, but not abuse them. Any society that does not respect and protect girls and women is doomed and gloomed. We should all be armed with the rights of girls and women and protect those rights. Who are those who will protect our women? Who are those who will protect our girls? Who are those who will nurture our girls? Who are those who will nurture our women? Who are those who will teach our people the rights of girls and women and guide them to observe those rights? Who are those who will teach our people not to abuse our women and girls? Who are those who will teach our people to preserve our women and girls? Who are those who will lead the campaign to protect our women and girls? I have always said that while we nurture our women and girls, we must not neglect our boys and men. While we seek to preserve our girls and women, we must not forget to also seek to preserve our boys and men. While we run campaigns to protect our women and girls, we must not forget to run similar campaigns to protect our men and boys. Who then are those who will run the campaign to nurture, protect, and preserve not only our girls and women, but also our boys and men? Will you stand up and nurture, protect, and preserve our girls, boys, women, and men? If we must fix the society in which we live, then everyone must understand their rights, roles, and responsibilities. The rights must be upheld, the roles must be played, the responsibilities must be fulfilled. Therefore, let everyone be real. Let men be real men. Let women be real women. Let husbands be real husbands. Let wives be real wives. Let adults be real adults. Let children be real children. Let girls be real girls. Let boys be real boys. Let youths be real youths. Let everyone be really who they are supposed to be, and we will have a real society. I love this powerful African proverb that says, when the company is on fire, even the woman can push away the roof of the shrine. In a world that is constantly on fire in many ways, we need more women who can push away the roof of the shrine. Who are the girls and women who will push away the roof of the shrine? In my native language, Acholi, we have a powerful proverb that says, Wok madaro bene marole. It loosely means a bitch also catches a game. What a powerful proverb. The word bitch here means a female dog, and the word game means a wild animal. So a bitch catches a game simply means a female dog also catches a wild animal. Who are the girls and women who will catch the game? The Bible talks of the virtuous woman in Proverbs chapter 31 from verse 10 to 31. Verse 10 says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Today the world is in dire need of virtuous women. Who are the girls and women who will be virtuous women? Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth I, understood the strength of a woman. Out of her wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, she made a statement that everyone must pay attention to. She said, though the sex to which I belong is considered weak, You will nevertheless find me a rock that bends to no wind. What a powerful statement made by a powerful woman in a powerful way. Many women do not know how strong they are. Accordingly, they appear weak. Woman, know thy strength, that none may make thou appear weak. Woman, know thy strength, that none may make thou appear weak. Woman, know thy strength, that none may make thou appear weak. In his powerful song, God Bless the Women, the legendary reggae singer Lucky Dube sang that we praise heroes every day, but there are those that we forget to praise, the women of this world. They do not run from anything. They stand and fight for what is right. Even when times are so hard, they are so cool, calm, and collected. They do not run from responsibilities. The words are as true today as they were even before Lucky Dube sang the song. When I was a little boy growing up under exceptionally tough circumstances, I witnessed the might of a woman in my mama. Oh, how a woman can struggle for her children. Mama was always there for us, even when no one else was. Mama always single-handedly pulled us out of the darkest possible tunnels. Mama endured tough times with us. Mama suffered for us. Mama sweated for us. Mama bled for us. Mama almost sacrificed her life for us. Mama climbed steep mountains for us. Mama crossed deep valleys for us. Mama sailed through stormy waters for us. Mama faced scorching fires for us. Mama walked on thorns for us. Mama gave us hope when despair was the only option. Mama endured the pain that we may have the gain. Mama never gave up on us, even when we went off track. Like a hen gathers its chicks under its wings and protects them from danger, Mama covered us under her wings and shielded us from danger. Today, we are global personalities. God bless Mama. God bless all real mothers. God bless all real women. Amen. Amen. Amen.
That was beautiful. That was very beautiful and poetic, as always, with strength of the heart can carry you throughout all your sin. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Our next special guest today is going to be Ambassador Dr. Priyanka Niaji in India. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, are you listening to me?
Yes, we are.
Okay. My hearty thanks to Tiana, and my respect goes to all of you. All have said oil, and now my time. My time is hello. Today's topic is gender equality. So I believe gender, but first we are man. We are person. Man and woman. This is second step, but first is man. We are. So now it is technological age, but many places of the world difference between men and women, because everyone not know. Some people nowadays, some people know gender issue. So woman is mother, and mother is first teacher. So first responsibility is mother. Please teach your son and daughter. Everyone have equal. Then build gender equality. And today's topic depend on sustainable development. If I here explained about sustainable development too. So some women not working, she depend on family, she's husband, and nowadays some family not wanted their daughter-in-law not go to workplace. She just for met homemaker. So this is bad, and we want sustainable development. So our first responsibility is man and woman is equal working, equal income. If we are equal both for income, then our economical have a strong position. So economical conditions, man and woman necessary for work. And this step, I want today's our here our speech is not enough. After speech, our responsibilities work of field. Because today I learn many things. So I will try of my locality and education, and I will tell them, please go to learn education and do something like that men, and first believe in yourself, you are person. So I believe if if one mother can take responsibility, then every mother can take responsibility for gender equality. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you're right. We're all people. And if we were to cut, we would all bleed the same. God bless you. Our next special guest is Sahid Khan.
Thank you, Tiana. So I've been listening to all the participants here. They are discussing about gender equality. So it's absolutely great. And this is very crucial discussion that I've been listening. And first of all, just I want to thank you for organizing such event, because like me, lots of people, they just want to speak, they just want to raise their voice and the problem they want to discuss. And undoubtedly that we are really facing a lot of problem, especially girls, and they are facing a problem. So you know that we've been working with 600 children, including girls, and they are in a great danger. They're not having proper treatment. They are facing a lot of problem. They can't really go to schools. And you know that I don't like always to talk about the problem. I always try to find out the solutions, that what we can do for mitigating or solving the problem. So always I try to do it. You know that a girl's few days ago, and she just called me and she told me that my parents are forcing me to get married. And then I really took a step that what I can do for the girl. And she wants to carry her study. She wants to really dream what others girl are dreaming to become. And but unfortunately, the parents, they're not conscious that the age that the girl has, she's not perfect. And then I called local administrations, and then I solved the problem. So that's how the change will come. That when people, they just will take action. I always say and speak like that, we need to take action right now. We know the problem that we have in the world that is happening right now, but the more important that we just take action, that the problem would solve it very immediately. And lots of girls are being disrespected. Because why we're disrespecting girl? Because we have lack of education. That it seems to me, in my life, I haven't disrespected any girl because I know the proper education that I should respect girl. That's what I have learned from my family. And lots of boys like me, they are not educating like that their parents are not teaching them. And that's why they are disrespecting girls. So what we can do, we can really do like these events and motivating boys and youths so that they can come and raise their voice and they can learn from our experts. And that's how we can change, we can bring a bigger change. And everything that we discuss is absolutely fine. But I think that, like me, a lots of youths, they have the power. And those who are really facing the problem, I mean the girl, and she has the voice. You know that when we just established the branches in many areas, the locations, at the times I got the news from others, lots of girls, they got married, but they destroyed their life. They wanted to become doctor, engineer. They want to dream like others girls, but they don't have any scope because they don't know about their rights. They absolutely don't know. What's here we can't really work out. We got to educate them what's their right. And if their parents are really forcing them, what they need to do and take their step for solving the problem. So that should be our focus. That what we are doing for the girls and what should be the step and the problem. And that's how we can really bring a bigger change. I'm really hopeful. I'm very optimistic person. And always I tell that if you work together, we'll bring a bigger change. It's possible. And I just want to include my speech by saying that we'll change the world together. It's not your efforts to solve the problem, it's individual efforts. You know that I say always that we have the just responsibility, not for my country. I don't feel that I don't have responsibility only in my country, but we have the responsibility in the world. That's mean you got to think about those girls who are facing the problem, who is living in Africa, who is living in Bangladesh. And you should have to have the mindset and think about the world the girls are facing. It's our time to raise our voice for those girls who are not getting the opportunity. They're depriving. And that's how we can bring a bigger change. Thank you, Tiana, for giving me this opportunity.
You did great. Thank you. And you're right. I believe that by using technology and media, that can spread the awareness fast because now we have technology. But I do believe also at this time in our world that it's very crucial in this environment and in this world to get the knowledge out. If one person can understand the respect of a woman and a woman's worth and all women and all women's worth, I believe that awareness will spread and they will want to see that the women can bring economic value more than the perception of a mindset of one particular thing. Because right now, you're right, we have to start somewhere and we have the voice and we have that freedom of speech, those human rights that we're born with. So I believe that with technology and media, voices, and also the rise of women, together we can do so much for sustainable development goals, because with women knowing who they really are and men adjusting to who women really are, I believe that awareness can be particularly given education, information, technology, science, and every occupation. And this will decrease crime rate. This will decrease sexual abandonment. And at this point, it's sexual abuse as these women are having to endure by being married at young ages. A lot of those women that you discuss are being murdered because they're not fully developed with anatomy and they're not able to have sexual relations with men that are over age. So their bodies are being destroyed and they're finding these women, which they don't talk about it much, but they're finding them murdered and they're finding them deceased based on being sexually abused and raped at a young age. And this is destroying our world. This energy is distasteful and it's something that God doesn't like. So at this accountability in our time of evolution and the awareness for the youth that are able to use their voices and the social media and the technology to create more value, I believe it is our time to give service to humanity. By having these summits and having these conferences, together we can give great value to the world, not just in the United States. This can spread all over the world using platforms such as Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, and other ways of networking and communications. With communications of value of economic growth and development, we will be able to create a path for sustainable development goals that the United Nations has placed in front of us to grab a hold of and give the information to circulate the awareness of science. If we are able to do this, we can decrease one country at a time, one issue in every country at a time, and impact quickly before 2030. We don't want any other lives to be taken. We don't want any other people to suffer, as God doesn't want anyone to suffer. He gives us the choice, and now is our choice to raise our voices, raise our appearances, and raise our awareness. As many people, even people of older ages, older than the youth, this is their time to unite with the youth. This is their time to be accountable and move on and forgive and find solutions. And as we are here today, begging those people to stand up for the youth, we will be there to stand up for them. And that is what will happen for peace. And amongst all aspects of all ethnicities and all cultures, the understanding of fundamentals of elements of love, compassion, faith, and overcoming life circumstances starts within, and decreasing all issues in all situations for people. It starts with the mindset, and then it trickles down with the emotions. So if we are able to give that accountability and an awareness spread globally, we can make a difference right now by having multiple ways of communications, networking. Statistics have shown their rise of since the internet has been created, that people can network from all different parts of life, giving economic value of increase of jobs, which is a big one, because what do those women need? Why are their parents, having them get married at a young age? They need money. A lot of these people are looking for money. So with money creates a value of economic development. Now, we need to have this highlighted. Women of all ages are gifted. Men are gifted. Once this is out, that there are people of a gifted, holistic, faith-based hope approach, the world will come to a realization that they need to tap into themselves so they can find their power and their gifts. And once they're able to be aware that this is in existence, the world will spread to understand there is peace and global peace within. So all lives do exist, and it takes the voices of us all. It takes the humanity of the love and compassion and kindness, because our world is tired. I see in Michigan, in the United States, as I went to many churches yesterday, people are looking for change. People are ready for change, and they don't want to wait. They don't want to wait for something more to come. They want to act upon their own inner gifts and their own inner humanity now. With this being said, this is a human right to give this acknowledgement and this awareness to every human being that exists. I've seen multiple people all over the United States aware of this accountability. I've been to London, I've been to France, I've been all over the world to see that you are all aware. Now that you are aware, what are you going to do to make sure that we can make our salvation worth it? Are you going to be accountable for your actions? Because I am. I'm 32 years old. I'm 10 ethnicities. And I'm here today to tell you all lives do exist and women's lives do exist. With equality and existence of all lives has, yes, yet a purpose that you have to discover, of a gifted purpose that you have to announce to the world. Do not live in fear, because as we have seen, different generations have been hushed up to live in fear. Now is the time to greater height your voices and bring the awareness with your votes, and give that freedom with the walk of the works of your mindset, because this is the time to overcome any element that has been come across for centuries at a time. This is now the time in our world. So believe this, equality exists within. And we know that we started off first as a human being. So God exists, we exist, women's lives do exist, all lives do exist. And with faith of yes, yet the universe existing in the light of us all, how deep will you tap in to knowing your true potential, as a spiritual awakening has woken up over 300,000 people since the pandemic? Are you going to sit by and act as if you do not know? Or are you going to make that attempt in your communities and with service to make sustainable development goals happen? By 2030, the United Nations expects the world to make something happen, but it exists within each individual and each occupation and each service of humanity to come together to give one final message. This does exist. All lives do exist. Women's lives do exist. And the gifts behind the spiritual beings of us all exist on this planet Earth. So come together now and fight for humanity, because you will assemble for global peace. And that is the true fight. knowing to have a positive mindset, and knowing when to listen to the existence of God inside of you all. The universe exists and it's endless, endless opportunities. This is your time to find your true purpose and your true meaning of life. And you all have a purpose. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you cannot do something or achieve what has already been done before history in front of us. We've seen women encounter different situations and come out of it. We've seen men encounter different situations and come out of it. Now's the time to unite with your families for global peace within. Now's the time to unite with organizations to find value within. Find your purpose and know your purpose exists now within. Positive energy, light, balance, and accountability for your actions and your thoughts and your emotions, because anything is possible now. There's hope here. There's faith here, and continue to know that we exist. Women's lives do exist. All lives do exist, and I'm here with you forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiana.
Thank you so much. We have another special guest. We're going to see if they're interested in speaking. And today we have Professor Hayat Hosseini. Welcome. Are you interested in speaking today?
Hello, dear. Good evening from Tunisia. Thank you for giving me this chance to be here. But my topic will be in next week, inshallah. But I'm very happy to hear from wonderful speaker. I enjoyed their speech, really. They did a great job. Yes, I enjoyed their speech, their thoughts, and I appreciate them, and all my respect to everyone. Really, gender equality is very important here, especially nowadays in all the world, Arabic world, Islamic, or in all over the world. We should respect each other and give each other the importance, to give them the chance to be part of economic growth. As educator, I give this topic and especially this goal the more importance, because you know, I'm from Tunisia. It's an Arabic, our language is Arabic, and we are Islamic people. Yes, then sometimes at school, sometimes a boy don't want to stay near a girl, or the girl don't, but I always explain to them that it's important to have the rights, same rights, same. Then they accept. After that, they accept each other, because we should teach our students from a young age to accept each other, to respect each other, because the most important thing is mutual respect. That's all, dear. Thank you. Thank you, dear Tana.
Thank you so much. And you're right. If we teach each other how to communicate better with love and compassion and forgiveness and correct the mistakes, we can do this. We can all do this together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But together we can achieve more, I know. Look, we are from different countries, but we appreciate each other, we accept each other, we help each other, we support each other. And I congratulate you on your achievements. And thank you so much for give us this opportunity to share and care together about many things. I hope I can do the best. I will do the best when I will be the speaker next week, inshallah. And I will talk about many things, and I will share with you my jobs with my students, because I involve them. I always involve my students in such opportunity. Yeah. Thank you so much, really.
Thank you. And also message me when we get off. I have an opportunity for you and your students. June 24th, we will be having a partnership, teacher and school partnerships with students from all over the world, being able to speak and be a part of the All Lives Do Exist Global Peace Youth Summit.
Yes, that's great, really. They will appreciate it. Yesterday, I was part of Sweden conference, and we did, me and my student, we did many things, really. They enjoyed sharing their thoughts and interacting with others. Yes, we will enjoy too your program. Yes, it's great, really, for me and for my students. Thank you.
Thank you. And we will have this program for a year, and then we will renew and have it every year. And this is a free program. We do not charge any money for this program. It's to get the awareness and build the students' character building and accountability, so we can make this happen through the teacher partnerships, the school partnerships. And please feel free to connect in the chat box, participants. We have Laura Stansu, she's from Romania. She's one of our partners. We had earlier Vilma Barbosa, she's from Brazil. She's another one of our partners. Melissa Esposito, she's one of our partners from Italy. She's a mathematics teacher. So we have teachers. We have another one from Egypt, another one from Romania who's not here, but I will go ahead and message you, and we're all right here for you. So we can't wait to see you June 24th, and we will have this twice a month for 1 year, and then I will renew.
Yeah, that's great, really. Thank you. We will join. Yeah, thank you so much, dear.
Thank you. And I will give you guys a minute to go ahead and take down each other's information, and then we are going to end this summit. Thank you again to everyone, because all your lives exist with God and faith and hope. And we can help the children through our mindset. If we can't teach necessarily faith with public schools, what we can do is we can give them the mindset, skills, character building, and tools so they can become better people, and they can make the attempt to make changes all over the world. And this is how we're doing it, through the All Lives Do Exist summits. So thank you so much. And thank you so much again to Sahid Khan. He's another partner of us. We're grateful for the Glory Future Foundation with the 600 children. He will be joining as well. And we wanted to say thank you again with Alexander Solomon. He has 189 countries that are involved with his organization, the People Alliance, the Global People Alliance, and we are here with him as well. He is from Israel. He also is in Russia, and he has also granted me part of their organization. I want to also thank Global Law Thinkers Society, which is founded by a woman in India who is a lawyer, who is helping women with their human rights. So Sahid, you want to connect with Global Law Thinkers Society to help the women that are trying to, express their rights for not having to get married at a young age. So you guys are all the connections you guys need. And again, thank you to Reina from Greece, Lampu. She always has information. Thank you to Laura Stansu. Thank you to Troy E. She's with Global Law Thinkers Society watching this program today. And I want everyone to know that we are united. And again, if you are not a global peace brand ambassador, become one, because we are doing this one by one. And now we have 140 global peace brand ambassadors in 4 weeks. For all lives do exist and women's lives do exist for equality. So feel free to become a global peace brand ambassador, which you will have a chance to speak on our platforms. And we will be giving certificates and we will be giving endorsement letters by the end of the year. So we have, with these partnerships, your incentives are that you're spreading global peace, but you're also able to get an incentive from the United States, from my company, that will be giving you endorsement letters, endorsement certificates. At this summit, you will also receive a certificate. Our award ceremony will be on the 21st and the 22nd. So thank you guys so much for everything, and continue to build sustainable development, because this is the time now to impact the world with your thoughts and with your emotions and your actions. So again, thank you all and God bless you all. So I'm going to go ahead and let you connect with each other, and then we will stop the program for today, guys. Thank you guys for everything.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. And the magazine comes out June 24th. All Lives Do Exist, first edition. The magazine is free, so make sure you send me your bios and your pictures, and I will be writing the articles so that you guys get free marketing and free advertisement through Cali Girl Books LLC, my publishing company in the United States. So thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody. Thank you.